Alright, so here's my recap after Paris, Brest Paris. This was my third time after doing it in 2015, 2019. So really before the event, it was time to pick up our packets. And this was the day before the start. Alright, I was at packet pickup today. Let's see what's inside. That's the exact same bag I had in 2015 with the reflective here. And the official jersey, I hope it's a nice fit. I think the brand changed this time. It's kind of darker blue, I like it. The French colors. And the map of the event on the back, so I think that's a really nice touch. The reflective vest that you can only get by riding Paris, Brest Paris. Wow, it looks big, but probably it will fit over everything else. Anyhow, of course we had the official bottle of this year's Paris, Brest Paris, my third. So I mean, those are really cool souvenirs. I don't really use those. Same pouch from last time. A lot of people didn't like it, but for your brevet car, the one that you have to stamp at every control, supposed to be waterproof with some zip ties for these placards you have to attach on your bicycle. The most important one is actually not the one for the photos, but the one you have to attach on your seat post. And this one has the chip, and it has to be placed vertically, not horizontally, because it won't be read by the tracking system. It has your flag and name there. Start group somewhere. Yeah, B21 for me. So this is how people know where you're from, what group you're in. And then they give you this bracelet, which was the same last time. And then this pretty much gives you access to all the controls and lets the volunteers know that you are one of the participants. Then this is the nice book that they told us today that we have to sign with all the important information you might need, and then the controls, and you get a beautiful large stamp here on each control. I did meet 4 guys that were also born in Bulgaria like me, and they were really excited to see me, so that was pretty cool. So we were in the same wave, same group. We kind of walked together, stayed together, and I mean, I felt good. You know, I had good sleep the previous night. I was hydrated. I ate well. I just chilled in the shade before the start because I knew there's going to be a lot of standing, which was the case before we depart. Maybe hour and a half. Luckily, we went around the entry of the castle, and there was some shade, but then we were in the sun, and maybe that was some of the reason why I had issues later on, aside from the fact that I arrived there 2 hours before the event. But anyhow, I also met the founder of Audax Randonneurs Bulgaria there at the start. He was cheering us on because he was in the different wave group, and he was going for his 7th Paris, Brest Paris. So I mean, pretty cool. Dimitar Balansky, he started that movement in 99, 2000 when he did PvP in 99. So that was pretty cool. He's aging now, but he's back there doing what he loved. And I actually started 4:18, 38 seconds. The group was starting at 4:15, but I think it's about 300. I was purposely kind of staging on the back end of it, just because I didn't want to push hard in the beginning like last time and blow up. It gets a bit dicey in the front, and plus if I take out half the group and I started behind them even by 3 minutes, I'm 3 minutes ahead of the guys at the front. So the pace was normal, you know. Guys are pushing. It's the big group. Everyone have big goals. For some guys to finish first, some guys to do Charlie Miller, some guys just want to see if they can finish under 80 hours, which is the only thing that matters, honestly. And of course, I met quite a few familiar faces, starting with Taipan from Seattle, and then Chris as well, who I think lives in Switzerland now. So we had some good chat, and we'll keep exchanging pools.
That man to go back, he will see. I don't want some sea racing you and beat you up.
You can't see mine, Shop. Don't give me penalty,
Why did
okay?
I say that? Why did I say that?
Don't give me penalty, Shop.
No.
I'm gonna hide my brevet card. What's your goal, guys?
Ало, слушайте? Добре, минутарно само да ви говоря.
Работи Кира Джей с полевото обикаля време.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте, Тодор.
Гилян. Приятно ми.
Вие се ли познаете?
За първи път ви виждам.
Може да се въздава.
Alright, 15 minutes to the start. A group is already on the road. And we're next. No turning back from here.
Pacing is key, so if you don't pace this thing well, you will definitely suffer on the second end of things unless you're Nick, the guy who finished first, and you can sustain this kind of effort for 50, 60 hours. My plan was, yes, to conserve energy, kind of learning from previous mistakes and make sure I don't blow up.
Zoe? Are you joker? Малко сме насани, ама ще ги оставим да се изгорят, после ще ги накажем и ги правим, да.
The risk of crashing is high. I mean, last time right in front of me there was quite a few crashes, and it's just so sad to see after where everyone is going just to line up. But then suddenly, I don't know what happened, and I still have no explanation. A few other guys experienced the same. I should mention Marshall. He said very similar thing happened to me. Marshall North, very strong rider. I don't even know how to explain it, but basically, yeah, heart rate was spiking out of nowhere. I wasn't pushing, chasing. I mean, I know my numbers, I know my heart rate. I know what kind of power I should have at certain heart rate, and this was not the case. Something was up. I thought, well, maybe my heart rate monitor is dead. Something is up. It happens. They freeze sometimes, and then they start moving again. But then loss of energy. I mean, I was nauseous. We just started 2 hours, 3 hours. I had no explanation for it at all. I even had hard time breathing. I really don't know what was going on. I mean, the pace was solid, but I wasn't attacking or doing anything crazy like last time. I was attacking and merging with groups ahead of us. I never had such a weak start for whatever reason, and our average speed was 22.3, and towards the end of that stage, it dropped to 17. I mean, significant, you know. And I mean, it's kind of scary. Things like maybe seeing a doctor start to cross your mind, but of course I wasn't just gonna give up and abandon. So I do what I usually do, which is slow down the pace, drink some water, forget all the powders, gels, and etc. You know, anything that might be upsetting my stomach, but just take it easy, eat, slow down. It's not what I plan on doing, but events like this throw challenges at you, and they will test you. So, yeah, I was sick. I was even cramping up, which was so strange. My ears were popping for like the first 15 hours. Anyhow, I mean, nobody said it's gonna be easy, or everyone will finish, which is obviously not the case. The expectations were shattered, you know, but I was still optimistic, and I figured, you know, if I recover soon, I think I have the legs and the experience to come back stronger after Brest. I don't know about negative split and finish faster on the way back. That's a really tall ladder to climb, but I know what I'm capable of, and I felt like I still have a chance. Even if I don't get to Brest within 24 hours, I figured, you know, if I cut off on sleep and be super efficient at controls, I still had a chance. I mean, I have to believe, you know, I'm not just gonna give up. Then I think on looking at the files now, around hour 7, my power meter dies. And of course I wanted to pace by power. It's helpful. I mean, I'm not crazy about numbers, but it's helpful. So of course it died, and I did have a spare battery. I had hard time opening the thing and lost a couple of minutes. So I said, you know what, just let's go, because at that time I was still not feeling great, so it wouldn't have made a huge difference anyhow. And then I arrived at Paris, which is it took me about 5 hours. And my buddy's wife was there, Lisa.
Alright, so here's the news. I feel like crap. I never had such a bad start. I'm only at Paris after 120k. Cramping up. Just weak. Feeling sick. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hopefully things get better. All I can do is slow down, recharge, eat, take my foot off the pedal. But yeah, cramping up after such a short distance. I don't know. A little bit of issues breathing. Hopefully things get better soon. Nobody says it's gonna be easy.
I mean, I tried to stand up and I couldn't. I had such a bad muscle cramp. I mean, after 5 hours, you know. And then 200 kilometers, that's my favorite control, Villanella Juhel. I was starting to feel a little better. I think I was there in like 8.5 hours, you know, 200K. I mean, not bad. Obviously, I wanted to be much faster. I think in the previous edition, I arrived there at the same time by looking at the results now. So even with all these problems, I made it there at the same time. So
Things started to be bad. I'm in Villanella Hill, 200k, maybe 8.5 hours, but man, I was feeling so crappy in the beginning. I don't know if I was sick or what, but it felt like it, nauseous, heart rate elevated, no power, like all my power was drained away. I don't understand. I slept well, I was hydrated and I ate. I was even cramping up after 50 miles. Unbelievable. So not bad, 8.5 hours for 200k. So just have to wait it out.
I'm going, and then at kilometer 300, which is really a quarter of the way, I arrived there in a little under 12 hours. So, I mean, if you do the math, 4 times 12 hours, 48. Hey, maybe there's something there, you know. And I figured this could be a blessing in disguise. I mean, this is how my brain is wired, you know, just flipping negative into positive. And I figured, you know, maybe it was meant to happen, so I can slow down and taste better, and maybe help me not to blow up.
We're in Courcheer, 293K. It's a quarter of the way there. 12 hours. Good making time. It always gets better.
You know, sadly, I see I was B group and I start seeing letter C pass me, D, E. But eventually things started turning around, and I found some nice strong groups with French riders, some Italian riders. Maybe a group of 20 men were great. We worked together really well. Half of them were from the same team, but I mean, some of them were in the late 50s, maybe 60s, but these guys were strong. I mean, so that was pretty cool, and I mean, it's the only way to make up lost time if you can, if you're comfortable in fast groups, and obviously have to be willing to do the work, because they will make you, you have to take your turn, or you're gonna get dropped. So they don't play those games. No one's just gonna sit there. So that was pretty cool. The 400-kilometer control is Ludiak. That's where most of the guys that are a little slower sleep. Obviously, I just kept going, but then of course the problems continue, or should I call challenges, because it's all part of the game, I know. And then obviously Brest, midway point, I made it there in about 20. The previous time I was there in 26, but we had a lot of headwind, so way slower than I thought, obviously. My goal was 22, 23. I would have been happy with 24. 27 was already putting me in a bit of a disadvantage, but there's nothing I can do about it, but just adapt and keep going. And
Jackson and Dunker. Everything, please. Let me see. Sorry, брат, познаме да ми даде всичко. О, merci.
Bon appétit.
Il y a les sauces, c'est mieux.
Без нищо си правил. Нищо. На кой километър? Може една вода.
Не, взимаш жамбон, взимаш и тръгваш.
Вайте, какви си гастите? Ама късно.
Ами Грузия готовата храна е.
Ти мога прави. Храната ще.
Храната не може да не се храниш, бе. Как ще бункаш само това?
Merci.
then on the way back, obviously 200 miles later, kilometers, which is about 125 miles, I was back in Ludiak. And oh boy, then you start bumping into the slow guys coming in, and they're sleeping there, and the place looked like, what's the name of the movie with the zombies? The Walking Dead. I mean, it was a complete disaster, and no offense to anybody, I was one of those guys. It smelled like a farm. It was so horrible. Thankfully, I know that there's two restaurants, one for cold food, one for warm food, and one of them is kind of out of the way. And if you know it, it's a little better, the situation there. But I mean, there's people sleeping on the floor of the toilet, under the tables, on the tables, by the wall. People everywhere, tired, people quitting. It was, you know, it's PvP. It's random urine. I did met shop there, and she kind of helped me to charge my phone there a little bit. Oh, I forgot to say that in Carré, which is really the first control after Brest, was the first time I slept after about 33 and a half hours. So I slept 1 hour, maybe lost 1.5, you know, with getting down, a little bit of food, using the restroom, but pretty good, pretty efficient. I felt fresh. I tried to avoid using coffee and pills until I really needed it, and then yeah, after Lourdiac is Fougères on the way back, meaning 300k to go or so. Phone was charged, GPS. Oh, before that, I forget to say that I was with another French group. I mean, we keep bumping into the same people because we're moving with similar speeds, similar groups, and even if some are ahead and leave early later on, we meet again. So one of those gentlemen had a dynamo. I was kind of desperate and looking for ideas on how to charge my devices. So I kind of sprinted, found this group, and I'm like, Monsieur, you know, can you, if you don't mind, please charge my GPS is dying. And his name was Thierry, and he was very nice and helpful. We spent a couple hours chit-chatting until the next control. Unfortunately, the GPS did not even charge, so I don't know if it was a bad connection. And I also met this strong Irish or Scotland, a girl from there. I mean, she finished in about 67 or 8 hours, and I kept bumping into her. She was complaining it was her first time, and so I kept trying to motivate her and tell her that, you know, everybody's experiencing the same. And yes, it hurts now, but you know, this is what makes a good story, and you know, this is what makes it PvP. So she just needs to keep going. I tried to motivate her. We help each other here and there when we could. But yeah, every time I arrived somewhere, she was right there behind me, and a couple of times ahead of me. So kudos to her. She completed successfully. Diet, forgot to mention, but I mean, I was smashing the, what do you call those, jambon baguette, which is really the French bread with butter, salt, ham and cheese. Just eat one or two, slide one or two in my back pockets on the way out. A couple of times I had nice warm meal. It just takes a little bit longer, so I'm tired of those for now, but it worked perfectly well. I did use my Hammer gels, heat, but I kind of stopped using it. The Hammer energy bars, they're helping me, but hey, look, I have to admit, they weren't working for me. I don't know if it was the bars, but I was getting some acid reflux, so I tried to just stick with solid food at some point. I cannot afford to have more problems, obviously. You know, the landscape, the scenery, it's a farmland in Bretagne, this area of France. Lovely people. I have a couple of videos on my phone. I mean, in the middle of the night, people are just sitting there. There's nobody else screaming from the top of their lungs. They have tables set up. They make food for you. They fill up your bottles. The kids are coming out to give you high fives, and their mothers want to give you high fives. Just amazing. The whole village there. Every place you pass, people are lined up there. The kids get so excited. They run beside you. Obviously, I stopped by the famous creperie. They make crepes, and all they want is for you to send them a postcard from the place you're from.
En Bulgarie, il y a une loi qui dit que si une voiture s'est volée, elle est volée là, elle est chez eux. Ah,
Souvenir.
Thank you.
je n'ai pas mon... Il faut que j'arrête là-bas pour lui donner la carte.
I give you this paper
Oh,
to send a postcard
I remember.
from your country.
Demain, ils ne sont pas si en forme que ça.
Oh,
Il y en a qui sont en forme comme ça, qui sont en forme parce qu'ils auront dormi pas trop longtemps avant. Parce qu'ils sortent trop vite, 20 minutes, une demi-heure. Ils se retirent, c'est impensable. Mais voir la ceinture. Oh, puis il est un petit peu fou.
Les garages, là où vous
So the family was there. I gave them a few of my souvenirs, which I designed specifically for all these wonderful people and angels on the side of the road who are really one of the main reason why PvP is what it is the people, is friends, is the kindness, is the hospitality. There was another gentleman at the same little rest stop. I forgot his name. And he was telling me how he does have a bunch of flags in front of his house, which is 3 miles away. Feel free to stop. Because I told him I'm born in Bulgaria. I have dual citizenship. I'm in America. And I'm excited to meet him. So I saw both flags there and I slowed down. He was already there by the time I made it. He stopped me. He wanted to give me a hug and he was showing me this mattress that he had in front of his house. He said, "Sir, monsieur, you have to use it. I know you're rushing, but next time, please feel free. This is my address. And we love you." It melts your heart. You can't just give up. I mean, how are you gonna give up on these people? They give up their heart and soul for you.
Georgie.
So, it was amazing, you know. I mean, it brings tears, and I'm not just saying it. I saw many hugs and many tears, and it's beautiful, especially for the first timers. It was my third. Unbelievable. They had decoration bicycles of all kind of shapes, sizes, and colors. In every town, on every farm, even at nighttime, lights. I mean, amazing. You know, amazing. The event's been going to the same towns for over 100 years, so people love it. And then, then yes, Villanelle Juhel, my favorite control on the way back. They have the big blow-up arch, right? The announcer there is with the mic, announcing whenever everyone is crossing. Crowds of people. I think it was used as a stage in the tour, so big crowds. Of course, it's on top of the hill, like every town there. You gotta fight to get to the control and get some food and sleep, I guess. But big crowds, and they're lined up right there next to where you park your car, close up, and they scream, and they're just so passionate about it, you know. A little bit of walking involved there, like the control is on one side where you stamp your card, and I had to walk back for food, and I wanted to get warm food, so I went across, and it reminded me of last time. I mean, I entered, and these girls started following me, and young girls and young boys, but two girls grabbed this food platter with a couple of napkins and a cup, and they start following me.
Okay. Warm meal is always in another building, and they don't even tell people. But I learned the hard way. Okay. Bonjour. Oh, for me? Merci.
Vous voulez prendre quoi Paella.
Yeah?
Soup.
Soup? Yes.
Soup, alors.
Maybe soup. Okay. And then rice. Okay. Merci. Wow, they're carrying the food for me. Can you believe this?
Attends, je vais
Every single time. Amazing. The two young ladies. Wow.
I chit-chatted with my French buddies that we created a strong bond, and I told them, look, I gotta go. I'm getting cold. I know I'll see you down the road, which we did. And I mean, we formed a strong group. The last 200K, I can see from my finishing time this year, my speed just was steady, you know.
Merci.
Last time I had Shermer's neck around that time, and you know, obviously things were horrible, but we were going, and I was feeling finally, unfortunately, with the last 200K, I was feeling awesome. Maybe I was feeling similarly the 100K before that, so maybe the last 3, but I was pushing and I was going, and I knew that there's 200 to go, so just give it all. group of 20. I mean, we were flying. The roads after Villeneuve held towards Mortaget Paris, Drux, I'm not sure, but flawless, flat. I mean, it looks like they're getting vacuumed. This is my third time, so what is that? 2,200 miles, 0 flat tires, and we were going 2022 exchanges, pulls. These guys were working. They were working, but at some point, I think they wanted to prove something to one another. 3 guys were just doing stronger pulls, and I responded. The group split. It's 10 of us, 5, 3. A guy attacks, and then they kind of gave up. I was in the front. I was feeling awesome, so I had to back off and just wait for everybody because it's the right thing to do. I mean, they were laughing, so, you know, of course, we had a little bit of fun at the end. A couple of guys then went ahead, 2 or 3. We let them go, so we regrouped together and we stayed together. And then we got to Mortaget Paris. And then Drux. Met my friend from Ireland, I want to say again. She was there feeling and looking all beat up, but it was great to see her. And then spectators, you know, from there to the finish. It's kind of challenging actually. I don't know if hilly, but the road wasn't perfect. You kind of fatigued. It was, at least it was morning time, so it wasn't cold anymore. My lights were kind of dying, but we stuck together. So it was great. And then obviously we made it to the finish together as a group. The guys were hugging as they were crossing the line. Fosami was their 5th, 6th PvP. Fosami was first, but it was such a great experience. Not a big crowd at the end because we were kind of faster than most, so I can understand that. Anyway.
Merci.